So this is cheese from Alida Hoeve. My name is Sanne and I will explain to you about how we make the cheeses. So here on the picture behind me you can see Henri Willig together with his wife, Riet, all the way back in 1974 when they first started making the cheese. Henri actually started with making goat cheese and then later on he also decided to make cow and sheep cheese. All the cheese we make is Gouda cheese, also known as Gouda cheese. And to make it, we start with 200 liters of pasteurized milk and we put it inside this big container. Then we heat the milk up until 29 degrees Celsius because the milk needs to be a little bit hot for the most important ingredient of making cheese, which is the rennet. So originally, rennet is something that comes from the stomach of a young cow, but we use a microbiological one, so our cheese is vegetarian. So we put that with the milk, and then we also add our starter, or Henri likes to call this his secret ingredient, because this is what gives some extra flavor to our cheese. Yeah. We mix it, we let it sit for half an hour, and then the milk becomes really thick, like a pudding. That's when we take the big cheese knife and we start cutting the pudding like this for 40 minutes. And then after 40 minutes we are left with something that looks like this. So as you can see now we have two different layers. We have the top layer, which is a liquid, we call it the whey, and then we have the bottom layer, we call it the curd. And we only need the curd for making the cheese. But as you can see, 90% becomes whey and only 10% becomes curd. So that means we need 10 liters milk to make 1 kilo cheese. Also means we have a lot of product that we don't need for the actual cheese making. So back in the day, the wife of the cheese farmer, she used to drink the whey every morning by breakfast to keep their skin young. I do it as well. I'm almost 65 years old and it works really good. No, I'm joking. But it's true that it's really good for your skin. So now we sell it to the companies that make like the face creams. And we do keep some for ourselves because we make our own beers from it. So now you have a good excuse to drink a beer. But for the cheese, we only need the curd. So we place the curd inside the cheese mold. The lid goes on top and it goes underneath this rod machine. And this will press the curd into the shape of a cheese. Then it goes into the salt bed. Salt bed is 80% water and 20% salt. And it's to kill some of the bacteria that we don't want. So 1 kilo cheese stays in there for 1 whole day and 2 kilos or more for 2 days. Then once they're done, we take them out, we let them dry, and once they're a bit dry, we give them a protecting layer of plastic wax. And then it can go onto the wooden shelves for the ripening progress. So in the first few weeks, it's really important that we flip the cheese every single day, otherwise the top layer becomes too dry. Then after 1 month on the shelf, we finally have what we call a young cheese. So young cheese is really soft, really mild. If we keep it a bit longer on the shelf, after 3 months or more, we have a matured cheese. And after 1 year, we have an extra old cheese or old cheese. So we in the Netherlands, we love to eat cheese. That's why we also made some special knives. So first we have the cheese slicer. This is really useful for if you want to eat the cheese on your bread or like this. You can slice it like this. And then we also have the cheese grater. And this is really useful for if you want to make pasta, spaghetti, pizza. You can use this to put some cheese on it. So Henri not only loved making cheese, but he also loved to experiment with different flavors of cheese. So once we go to the shop, you will find more than 30 different flavors. But our most famous cheese is the extra old goat cheese. So with this one, Henri won a world award for best goat cheese. Really worth trying. We also have a cheese that looks like a sausage. It's smoked cheese. And then we have the farmish cheese that looks like this. This is the only cheese that's not pasteurized, so it has to stay in Europe. All the other cheeses are pasteurized, so you can take them on a plane all around the world, not any problem. And I think that's all I have to tell about cheese making. Are there questions? No? Then we can go to the shop for the fun part, the tasting.